Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Powerpuff Girls house from the show, The Powerpuff Girls. As you might be able to notice, this is the rebooted version of the house. I have made both versions. You might be able to see the original version over there, but I wasn't really sure whether you guys would want to see the new one or the old one or both or whatever, so I've kind of just started with this one, and if you guys enjoy it, then I'm sure that I could do the old one as well. So if you wouldn't mind, could you please smack a like on this video if you'd like to see that? Would you like to see both versions? And of course, if you do enjoy the content as well, I do also appreciate that like. Let me know down there in the comments, and that pretty much sums up absolutely everything. But before we go, actually that doesn't, I've contradicted myself. If you would like to check out more cartoon related content, check out the card system discussion below. You're looking for the cartoon builds playlist. You'll be able to find all sorts of awesome builds there. But now, without any further ado, not contradicting myself, let's get to the tutorial. So before we begin, I should let you know that this house will roughly fit into a 42 block by 17 block area. That's 42 blocks coming across the front by 17 blocks going towards the back. Now this only accounts for the actual structure of the house. This doesn't account for the garden and stuff. So do make sure that you leave more room, especially if you want to add in that extra detail. We're going to need all of the materials that you can see in my inventory right now, so make sure that you have absolutely every single one of these. I'm going to begin by grabbing the top row, and then we can start things off. So, I'm going to start the build off by placing a single block of quartz on the ground. And on top of that block of quartz, I'm going to place 6 light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to go to the right of that by 17, using the light grey still. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I then want to go down from that block by... I actually want to go down by 4 using the glass. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I then want to place a light grey concrete like this. And I want to connect down to the ground using a block of quartz, like so. I want to go to the left of all of the glass by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's with additional glass, by the way. We want to make quite a large window, just like that. We can even go back from the first row of glass that is connected down to the ground. You can go back by a couple of rows, literally a couple, like 1 and then 2, like that. We're then also going to go back from the 17th light grey concrete that we placed just a little bit earlier. We want to go back by 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And of course that all wants to be using light grey concrete, as I'm sure that you guys might have figured out. Well, we then want to go down from this 13th light grey. We want to go down until we are able to almost connect down to the ground, but we do want to actually connect down to the ground using a block of quartz, just like we did on the front. We then want to extend this row of block of quartz. We want to extend the row of block of quartz back across the house, and the goal is to connect it to the front of the house. So essentially, just like a big giant L shape like this, we just want to use our block of quartz. We want to then fill in the entire back of the house using light grey concrete. So what this means is up on top of that row of block of quartz that you've just placed, you want to stack rows and rows and rows of light grey concrete until eventually you will have filled up the back of the house, because you'll come up to a point where the light grey concrete is as high as it is on the front, and that is how you know where to stop. Just like that. For additional detail, we're going to take the row of block of quartz at the back, and we're going to extend it out of the back by an additional row, just like that, creating like a little lip, like that. On the right hand side of the house, we also want to connect everything together at the bottom using block of quartz, and to a certain extent you can even fill in this particular part of the house using light grey concrete. Like, you can fill in around the window using light grey like this, and you could even perhaps add a couple of rows coming in the back, but you don't have to fill the entire thing in, as there is going to be a garage, so I wouldn't waste your time. There's a similar story on the opposite side as well. On this side of the house, you only really have to fill in 1 row and 2 rows coming in from the front and the back, because once again we have an addition to the house and it's not necessary to fill the entire thing in. Which leaves the front. As you guys might imagine, the front of the house is quite a bit more detailed than all of the other sides. We'll first begin by adding a layer of block of quartz at the base of the house, connecting one side to the other. We then want to, starting from the left hand side, add a row of light grey concrete coming to the right of the connection point on the left hand side. We then want to, and this is tricky, we want to, starting from the bottom of that row that we added, 1 row inwards, and to the right, we want to place a red concrete, like this, in this position. We want to extend that red to the right by 2, 1, 2. We then want to add another row on top, place a light blue on top of the middle part, with a red either side, place red on top, and then blue on top of that. We're then going to place a row of light grey concrete to the right of the door that connects the top to the bottom, and the door wants to just be sunk 1 block inwards. The door also wants to have a door handle, which I'm using a stone button for, which I'm just going to place in this position right here, bottom right diagonally of the glass associated with the door. The rest of the front of the house can honestly just be filled in with light grey concrete. There's really not a massive amount more going on here. I mean, well, not built into the walls anyway. We do have to add like a little bit of like a garden-y sort of section, like out front, and we do have to add some steps and stuff. And you know what? We might actually do that next. So far, we want to have something which should look like that. Alright, so once we've done that, we want to, first of all, add a row of block of quartz coming out in front of the house. So add a row of block of quartz coming out in front of the house, out the bottom of the house, like that. We then want to add a row of stairs in front of the row of quartz that correspond to the door. So we have a 3 block thick door, we want a 3 row stairs. We then want to add a row of block of quartz either side of the door, extending that forwards a little bit like that. We're going to grab the jungle leaves and we're going to add just some bushes like on the front of the house. Something like this will be fine. Like, just make up some random bushes and you want to plant them pretty much like left of the door, right of the door, and under the window. Something like that will look great. You can even add a little bit like in front of the house as well, just like that if you like, just to, you know, make it a little bit more realistic, to add a little bit more detail. Let's add more detail, speaking of detail. So grab the quartz slabs. You want to place a row of quartz slabs in front of the top front of the house, so just directly on top in front of the house. You guys get the point. I don't know exactly what I said there, but it probably wasn't right. You want to place a row of quartz slabs in front of the top half of the house, like that. The top row of light grey concrete. And on top of those slabs, you want to stack 6 solid rows of block of quartz. So it'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on top of the quartz slab, you simply want to add all of those rows and rows and rows and rows of quartz blocks. It really, hopefully, shouldn't take too long to do whatsoever. So let's add all of these, and of course, we then have some more to do. Like, the house is quite tall. Not as tall as it is wide, but it's quite tall, and we'll be adding like the entrance slash exit points for the Powerpuff Girls. So you then, once you have that 6th row, want to place a row of quartz stairs, upside down quartz stairs, in front of that 6th row, just like that. So in front of that 6th row, place a row of upside down quartz stairs. And on top of those stairs, you want to place 7 rows of block of quartz. So that's going to look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you guys know the drill. We want to add in all of these rows. In this particular piece of the house, this large chunk of blank slate, we are going to carve out the areas in which the Powerpuff Girls would like come out of the house. Like, they'd just shoot straight out of the house, they would be able to fly straight out. That's what part of the house we're actually making now, and we will have to make the holes and also fill them in with some nice colours. take the very top row, the last row that you placed, and place upside down quartz stairs in front of it. This is just to shape the house a little bit, just like that. So we have to make the holes, right? So if you start from the bottom row that you place, like this very bottom left-hand quartz block, you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's just like above this upside down stair. You want to go to the right of this by 2, 1, 2. We then want to go up 1, destroy that block. Then destroy the 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. And then destroy 3 rows above. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Leave a gap of 1 going right, and then do the same. So you want to destroy 4 rows of 4 going right, like that. And then one more time, we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to then do 4 rows of 4 block of quartz to the right. So what we'll end up with is this, which looks, it kind of looks weird actually as squares, but that's what you want to have. All you do is you place upside down and regular quartz stairs in the corners of these 4 holes to create circles. And then all we're going to do once we have created these 3 circles like that is we're just going to drop off those materials. We're going to grab light blue, pink, and lime green. And we're going to take the left hole. And we're going to place light blue concrete behind this left hole. You should basically have to place a 4x4 square. We'll take the middle hole and we are going to place pink concrete to cover up that middle hole. And the last hole we are going to use lime concrete to completely fill in that last hole. And what we want to have is a much more interesting version of a traffic light in which we have blue, pink, and green. Once you've got that done, we're going to do this next. So we want to grab the block of quartz, and you know what? It might be easier to start from the opposite side. So actually grab the quartz slabs, okay? Come to the back of the house and place a row of quartz slabs coming across the top of the back of the house, like this. So a layer of quartz slabs. We then want to stack layers of block of quartz until... And this is directly on top of the quartz slabs. We want to keep stacking layers and layers and layers and layers of quartz block on top of those slabs until the block of quartz would be able to eventually reach the top. So we want to be able to reach the top of the house on the front. It wants to be the same height as it is on the front. You will have to add quite a few rows. I'm really not that worried that we've reached it yet. We're just about in line with the colors now. I think that we've actually just surpassed it by 1 row. But you want to keep adding rows and rows and rows and rows until you will eventually be able to reach the top of the house, which we will then connect. So we'll like raise it up as we're doing now, and then we will connect to the front of the house. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm pretty sure it just needs 1 more row. Actually, yeah, this is the last row, so I can tell by looking at this that it's even. I'm going to extend the front, and I'm going to extend it backwards using the block of quartz until like the front connects to the back nicely, as you can see me doing right here. So we're going to connect the front to the back, just as I keep repeating to myself over and over and over and over again. And once we've done that, we will fill in the sides of the house where they do have to be filled in. The main parts of the sides of the house that have to be filled in, unfortunately, are, you know, the big, massive block of quartz parts. Like the lower half, where we filled in, like, the light grey, doesn't really have to be filled in at all. But the big, massive parts, unfortunately, do have to be filled in using block of quartz mainly. So once we've done that, we can then add the garage. There's a garage on this house. It's on the right hand side, and there is like an additional room on the left hand side, both of which are quite easy to do, so I wouldn't worry about it at all. So we've just about connected the front to the back. There sure is a lot of building here, and once we have done that, we should end up with this, to which we then want to connect the quartz blocks on the back of the build to the front of the build like this, just going from front to back and then left to right, left to right, left to right, just filling all of these in using block of quartz. And as I said, they're really isn't a way around this, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, oh well, what can you do? I really am waiting for that like Microsoft paint can that I can just like select a block and then just like fill in a closed area with that block. That'd actually be pretty cool, but unfortunately still not added it. I've only been waiting 5 years, you know, maybe sometime they will eventually add that, but what can you do? So we're just going to build all the way up to the top, and then we will move on to the other side. We'll do the same thing all the way over on the other side as well. So that's one side done. And now we're going to connect it at the bottom on the other side, just coming across that row of light grey that we placed earlier. We don't have that same row of light grey on the other side because, I mean, they're two completely different sides, obviously. Like, one's got windows, and one has a garage, and one has a room, so there's no real reason to fill them both in the same. There's a lot bigger gap on the opposite side as well, but once again, like, I figured that I wouldn't fill it in with light grey, just in case you guys want to do the interior at all, in which case then you're probably going to want to have access to the garage and that small room, you know, both of them. So I mean, that'd kind of be up to you, but you know, leave it all nice and open. Plus it saves us actually having to fill those in. So the build that we have so far should look very much like this. Once you've got that sorted out, we're going to place the garage. So the garage itself is on the right hand side of the build. We want to find the windows on the front of the house. So like if you find the window on the front of the house, the top right hand corner window, you find the light grey on top of it. You move one block backwards, so we're coming out from this block, and you place a row of 16 block of quartz going to the right of this block. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You connect that 16th block downwards, and then you take that 16th block and you also extend it backwards by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like that. You connect that 11th block all the way back to the house itself, just like that. It will connect in this position. And then you want to fill in the back of this structure with block of quartz. You want to fill in the right-hand side of this structure with block of quartz. And you want to fill the top of this structure in with block of quartz. The structure, of course, being the garage. After we've done this, we will then add the garage door, and then that will be the garage complete. Believe it or not, this is the more difficult part of the house to add in relation to the opposite side, where we will simply be just adding like a very small room. So we filled in the back and right hand sides now, and all we're going to do is we're just going to fill in the top of this thing. So just fill in the top, and then we'll be all good. So once we do have the top of this completely filled in, as you guys know, we have to add in the garage door, and it's also a little bit fancier than that. It's not like just a big giant garage door. We have like a couple of pillars. We have some grey, and we have some light grey as well to add along with the dark oak wood planks and also the dark oak wood stairs too. So just gonna get all of these filled in just like that. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab we need the dark grey, which is best put next to the light grey, and we're also going to need the dark oak wood planks and the dark oak wood stairs. Grab the grey concrete and place a row of grey concrete inside of the left of the garage exterior. So like the right hand side of the garage, you want to one row inwards, place a row of grey concrete connecting from the bottom to the top, top to the bottom. Place a row of grey going left of this. Then place a row of dark oak wood planks going from top to bottom, one row inwards to the left. So like from top to bottom, a row of dark oak wood planks inwards to the left. We want to take the top block and we want to go left by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to connect all the way down like that, and then we're going to fill the center of this in using dark oak wood stairs. So to create the appearance of a garage door, which is made out of wood, we're going to use just rows of stairs to create that sort of like garage door effect. It works very well like that. Then coming left of the garage door, outwards and to the left, place a row of grey concrete that connects from the top to the bottom again. and then a row of grey concrete going left of that, so it's equal to the opposite side. And then you want to connect to the house by placing 2 rows of light grey concrete going 1 row backwards and to the left of that row of grey concrete. So we want to have something which should look like this. So we just want to have something which should look like that. That is perfection. And once you do have that sorted out, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to make the little room on the left hand side. So come to the left hand side of the build. You want to find basically like the very first block that we placed, which was this block of quartz, if you guys can remember. It's this one. You want to move backwards from this by not 1 but 2, and then you want to place a row of 8 block of quartz coming out from this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Then we're going to move back from this by, how far are we going to move back from this, guys? I'm not sure that I have the measurement, but I can figure it out. So we want to move back by 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and then we're going to connect back to the house like this. So we've went back by 9. We then want to place an additional layer of block of quartz on top of this. So we want to place a row of block of quartz on top of this. Then we want to take the inside parts on the front and the back. So like the block of quartz that touches the wall, we want to extend it up by further 4. So like this, 1 2 3 4, and we want to add a row inside of this. And on the back as well, we want to go up by 1 2 3 and 4, and then add a row inside of this. We're then going to place light blue glass everywhere else on top of all of the other rows of block of quartz. So we just want to add glass on top of all of the other block of quartz, just going all the way around like this. And then what we'll be doing once we have completed this, once we've added all of the block of quartz, just like that, coming up here, whoops, here, here. There we go. We're going to add a row of dark oak planks that goes all the way around the top of this. So we're going to add a row of dark oak planks all the way around on top of this. And then an additional row directly on top of the dark oak wood planks, just like so. And then we'll be filling in the center of this using the dark oak wood planks. So we'll just fill all of the center of this in using dark oak wood planks, just like this. And then that will be nice and complete. And this is just the additional, this is the extra room that we spoke about. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much the house. Like, there's not too much more going on here. But there are a couple more details that you may find that you want to add to make this house pop a little bit more. So, I'm going to grab like lime terracotta, green terracotta, white concrete, jungle leaves. I'm going to grab some spruce planks. And I can show you how to make this look a little bit more like the house itself. So, we want to take... this is kind of like awkward to explain, but like if we take like the edge of the sort of like porch area, the top, like the front left hand corner of the porch, this block right here, and you dig into the ground, and you want to dig into the ground by, I'd say like maybe like 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, like that. And then you want to extend those last 4 blocks, 1 2 3 4, like that. You want to extend those last 4 blocks across the front of the house. So like you want to take those last 4 blocks, you want to extend them across the front of the house. And the goal is to connect those blocks to the garage. So just to kind of show you, because like that is, it's kind of like that's kind of like an awkward explanation, right? I'm going to show you that we're just going to extend those to the garage. So like sort of like this. You also want to create a wider path. So you actually want to create a path from like the edge of the porch here, coming all the way to where we have that right stair. And eventually we're going to like fill this in using white concrete. So we're going to fill all of this in using white concrete, as you guys can kind of see me doing a little bit here. So all of this will be white concrete, this path that I've carved out, because there is a path that leads from the front of the house to the garage. And that's all this is. This is going to be a path once it's all dug out. We also have, starting from like where the garage joins to the house, this is also going to be white concrete. So like if you can imagine, like all of this is also going to be white concrete. So you've got that path, and then you've got a very wide driveway. The area inside here where we have like half of the letters and where we have some bushes, the area here is actually just kind of like dark grass, which I'm going to use green for, like literally like green terracotta. I'm going to use this just as grass. There is also some more grass, and I do realize I've got some like bright yellow blocks underneath the hedge, which kind of takes away from it, but we just have something which should look like that. So you can see that we're kind of putting the lines in for the house. We also want to like dig left of this path, so like we want to take the left of this path on the very left hand side, and we want to dig an even number to the left. An even number, it's important. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like 14 would be a decent number, or maybe even just the maybe even just the, what would that be? I'm so stupid. Like 10, 12, you know, something like that. But the goal is to, after you've dug out the even number of path, you place a spruce plank, and we're going to extend a row of spruce planks coming backwards, because this is going to form a fence, and we're going to extend a fence coming backwards, coming across the back of the house, and it doesn't matter how far back you come out of the back of the house. You can come as far back as you like, and we want to be able to connect to the back part of the garage. So we want to be able to create a shape which should very much look like this, if you guys can see, like that. And we're also just going to add an additional row of spruce wood planks on top of this. After this, we're also going to add some additional bushes to the garden. We're going to add some additional bushes in the form of jungle leaves. And we are also going to add in, so there's some like white flowers and stuff in the bushes, which I'm going to use white concrete for. So like now that we've kind of like got a fence supported, we're just going to add a big amount of bush to the very left hand side. Like we just want to add some bushes to the left, like this, just like that. And we're just going to add a couple of white concrete in here. There we go, just to have a look. Yeah, just to have a look kind of like that. All of the remaining grass, which is mainly on the front, left hand side and the back, all of the sides, we want to replace the grass with this. So I'm not going to do all of this, but here's like an example of what the grass would look like. You want to have like 2 rows of green terracotta and 2 rows of lime terracotta moving backwards towards the house. So like we're going to have some fake grass that's going to look exactly like this, moving backwards in stripes towards the back of the house. Hence why I kind of like wanted an even number of blocks destroyed, so that we can have an even amount of grass. Like an odd number would look odd. So yeah, that's kind of what we have left to do to the house. I'm not going to do any of this on recording, by the way, because it's really easy, it's really boring to watch, but I'll be adding all the grass, I'll dig out the path and I'll fill it in, and that's pretty much all that's left to do. So I'll tell you what, I'll do all of that and then I'll come back to this once I've done it. I'll show you guys what the house looks like once all of that's been done. Back in a moment. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the house should look like once you have done all of those things. So we've added a path that connects the front door to the garage, and we've extended the driveway. It's quite a wide driveway. We've of course added the bushes, we've added the fence, we've added all of the grass, which can be seen going all the way around to the back as well. And that is pretty much everything. And the house, by the way, looks a lot nicer when you pop a potion of night vision, because like it brightens everything up so it's not as dark. So that's really what the house looks like, especially if you've got a nice amount of lighting. I'm hoping that you guys have enjoyed this one. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. It really helps me out, you guys know that. And if you do hit that like button, I'd like you to leave a comment down below and let me know whether you'd like to see the original version of the Powerpuff Girls house as well. Like, would you want to see the original version along with this one? Oh no, you'll have to let me know down there in the comments. If you do enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe, click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all of my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And speaking of stuff, if you would like to make any more things by me of all sorts of varying nature, you can see a lot of stuff in the background actually, please check out the card system description below. The cartoon builds playlist is probably your friend. You'll probably be able to find loads and loads of stuff that you would enjoy out of that. That's pretty much everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.